Hello and welcome to album review number 19. Today I'm going to be reviewing A Matter of Life and Death by Iron Maiden. This was released in 2006 and it is their second most recent album behind The Book of Souls and Final Frontier. I have the vinyl version, which I actually just got recently, a couple of months ago, I think maybe a year ago. I think it's really cool. One thing I absolutely love is the album cover. It sort of tells you like what you need to know about the album. Quite a few anti-war songs. It sort of has that sort of theme going, and it's a very dark and sort of heavy album. I'd probably say it's their heaviest actually. This is the first band. This is the first review where I'm reviewing an album of a band I've already reviewed. The first 18 were all different. I didn't want to start doing more than one of a review of a band when there were still other bands to do, but we finally get around to doing another Iron Maiden one over a year later. There's 10 tracks on the album and it's quite long. Iron Maiden, especially their newer albums, they tend to do quite a bunch of long songs on their album. So it's about 65 minutes or so. And this was the first Iron Maiden album I ever proper got into. When I first got into Iron Maiden when I was about 11, the first one I bought was Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, but I think this was the second one I bought, and this was the first one I really got into. So this was the album that sort of got me into Iron Maiden really. And it's sort of, I prefer their newer stuff like this compared to their older stuff, so this is sort of the album that sort of did that. Track 1 is Different World, which is a short one. It's about 4 minutes, and it's the single from the album. I don't know if there's another single. I think Reincarnation by Benjamin Breed might have been a single as well, but that's quite long, so I don't know. But immediately the album starts off with a like heavy sort of fast riff, and it's definitely different to the previous album, Dance of Death, which was slightly more folky. There was some acoustic elements, a bit more sort of some strings added in. And the album before that, Brave New World, was quite melodic as well. But this one sort of immediately sets the tone with a sort of dark, heavier sort of tune. Bruce Dickinson's vocals on it are very good. But the best thing about that song is that riff, that that's such a great riff. I absolutely love that. It's got a pretty cool music video as well. It's made in CG. It doesn't look very good nowadays, but it's still kind of cool. Track 2 is These Colours Don't Run, which is one of the most popular ones from the album. That's one of the many songs about war on the album. Another one that you kind of immediately know what kind of album you're getting because it's got a heavy sort of dark riff going throughout it. And again, slows down in the chorus, and sort of middle section that sort of speeds the pace up another wee bit. But it's quite complex, the song. It's not one of my absolute favourites on the album, but it is a good one. Sort of used to like it more than I do now when I was a kid, but I think there was definitely better songs on the album. Track 3 is Brighter Than a Thousand Suns, which is one of the most progressive songs on the album, I'd say. For the main reason that most of the songs in 7/4, and I'd actually say it's Iron Maiden's heaviest song. That is very heavy, very dark. It's another song about war. It's about nuclear war and how destructive and horrible and how scary it is and all that. But there's some very beautiful instrumental parts in it, and some of the best like heavy riffs that I think Iron Maiden have done. It is a good song. One thing I'd say is Bruce Dickinson's vocals they sound fine, but I don't know if it was something to do with the editing. His voice sort of disappears behind the music a couple of times. It sort of gets lost in the music and you can't hear it very well a couple of times. So I don't know whose fault that was. I think there's sort of a thing throughout the album. You'll notice it doesn't. I don't think it was edited very well. Like a lot of the guitar notes, especially on the acoustics, you can hear the fingers go up and down the strings, and I suppose there's nothing you can really do about that sometimes, but it does sound a bit off to me. I'm not a big fan of that, especially songs like The Legacy. Every chorus like do. You can actually hear it, and it does get a bit annoying. Track 4 is The Pilgrim, which is probably my personal least favourite song on the album. It's got a decent opening riff, but then it sort of speeds up, and it's just not very interesting. It's decent, but I'd say it's the least interesting song on the album, and it just doesn't impress me like a lot of the other songs do. And I've kind of always felt that even when I was a kid. I always thought this was one of the weaker ones on the album, and I'd probably say it's the weakest. Track 5 is The Longest Day, which is another very dark one, another one about war. especially the opening. The opening is very dark, very slow, very somber. Some great imagery in the lyrics as well. I think Bruce and Steve pretty much write all the lyrics, especially Steve. So, and Steve Harris had writing credits on every single one of these songs, so that's pretty interesting. And he also, that was the same in the Final Frontier. The Book of Souls was, I think, the first album that he didn't have a writing credit on every song since Dance of Death, and that was a good 12 years before it. The Longest Day, there's definitely some dark parts. There's dark parts in every single song on this album. Apart from, I'd say, track 6, Out of the Shadows, which is really the only song that is really kind of uplifting from start to finish. It's the only real moment of light in the whole album. It's basically just a song about being born, and it's very optimistic. There's some beautiful acoustic on it. There's some beautiful singing. Bruce Dickinson, I think he wrote the lyrics. The vocals are very beautiful. The lyrics are very beautiful. It's just a really, really nice song, and it's sung very emotional in the choruses, but the verses are very nice as well, and there's a really beautiful guitar solo in there as well. It's just like a sort of nice sort of part of the album that just, it stops the whole album from being this totally dark, really sinister album that it is definitely their darkest album. Other albums will have more uplifting parts scattered throughout, but this one is pretty much dark and heavy throughout the whole thing. And this song is just really like piece of sort of light-hearted, sort of nice, optimistic song that sort of stops the whole album from being a sort of really dark, and it's really, really nice. Track 7 is The Reincarnation of Benjamin Bree, which is my personal favourite, and it might have been the song that got me into Iron Maiden. It's got everything that's great about modern Iron Maiden. You've got a slow, lengthy sort of intro that's very somber, sort of very eerie, lots of atmosphere in it, and then the riff comes in and it speeds up, and it's quite slow throughout parts, but I really like that. That riff, the do 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 do, is just so catchy. It's such a great riff to listen to. Bruce Dickinson's vocals on it are tremendous. I'm not 100% sure what the song's about. No Iron Maiden fan knows who Benjamin Bree is because the band has never said. I don't really think it matters, to be honest, but the song is kind of about reincarnation, that sort of thing. But especially that long note at the end with Bruce Dickinson with his vocals, that long note, and when it speeds up a bit, and there's some great guitar solos on it. I remember when I was about 11, I used to listen to this song every single day. I'd come home from school and listen to it. I'd absolutely love it. It's a fantastic song and my personal favourite on the album. Track 8, this is the longest song on the album, For the Greater Good of God. This is one of 2 songs that reach the 9-minute mark. There's not that many very long songs on the album in comparison to, say, an album like Book of Souls, which has a 10-minute one, a 13-minute one, and an 18-minute one. There's only 2 songs that reach the 9-minute mark on this album. There's an 8-minute one and a couple of 6 and 7-minute ones, but that's pretty much it. There's quite a few songs there's 3 songs that are less than 6 minutes. The rest of them are 6 minutes, between 6 and 9 minutes. But For the Greater Good of God, it's another one that's just quintessential modern Iron Maiden. That Steve Harris has said is in sort of their tone of sort of their thing of doing like a slow intro, speeding up in the middle, then ending slow again, was inspired by Genesis, early Genesis songs like The Musical Box. But For the Greater Good of God is absolutely beautiful. Very somber, though every song on the album is beautiful, but they're very somber as well. Very eerie and very emotional, this song. And it's got a fantastic part in the middle with it when it's instrumental, and some of the guitar solos on it are absolutely brilliant. And the ending line is very eerie as well. And then that sort of the wee fade away few notes at the end is just sort of shivers down your spine sort of thing. Very emotional, very eerie, very, very good, very brilliant song. Sorry, well, it's a brilliant album, but it's a brilliant song, to be honest. Side 4, well, on the vinyl, side 4 on the final side, track 9, Lord of Light. This one has grown on me over time. One thing I really like is the sort of do 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 do. I think a lot of people will like that part. I'm not a big fan of the guitar solo on it, but I like the lyrics as well. And the choruses are pretty good, but that sort of fast-paced sort of bit when the music just gallops, absolutely brilliant. And the final track, The Legacy, is probably my second favourite track behind The Reincarnation of Benjamin Bree. again, quintessential modern Iron Maiden. Slow intro, fast in the middle, slow at the end. Acoustic guitar at the beginning is very nice. Then it kicks in. The lyrics are very emotional, very good, and some of the absolutely brilliant riffs. And the way Bruce Dickinson sings, it's absolutely tremendous. And the guitar riffs and the bass lines, especially the bass lines, are absolutely brilliant. Especially the doodle 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 is very, very good. Then towards the end, it gets very emotional. And then you've sort of got that sort of same bit at the end that you heard at the beginning, like Iron Maiden often do, especially their modern stuff. And it's just very, very good. And it rounds off the album perfectly. I think it's perfect end to the album. And that's A Matter of Life and Death. It's been shorter than my Fame Frontier review. But it's just a really, really good album, and one of my absolute favourites. It's their darkest, heaviest album, and it certainly is unique in that way. I mean, all their albums have dark and heavy moments, and I mean, all their albums are heavy moments. They're a heavy metal band, but this album takes it to the sort of extreme of the dark stuff, and even the imagery on the album art. You look at it; it's all dark blues and dark greens and stuff. You look at the artwork and you look through the book, and you know what album you're going to get. It kind of works that way with Iron Maiden. If you look through the book and you look at the colours and the imagery, you tend to sort of get an idea of what the album's going to sound like. Like the Final Frontier, there's pictures of there's like space and stars and planets and that kind of stuff, and you kind of get the idea that the album's going to have a bit of an atmospheric sort of spacey vibe to it, which it does throughout. Dance to Death, there's there's sort of strange imagery in it. There's sort of like dancing women in these sort of like eyes wide shut masks and all that, and I know you kind of get the tone that the album might be a bit folky, but Matter of Life and Death is one of my absolute favourite Iron Maiden albums, and it has some of their absolute best songs, and one of their absolute best album covers as well. I absolutely adore this album cover, and it was probably the album that got me into Iron Maiden. So anyway, that's A Matter of Life and Death. Thanks for watching. I'll probably do another list tomorrow, and then 2 more reviews, and then that'll be me for the end of the year. But thanks for watching. See you next time.